Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He is your co-host, Dax O'Ryan. Say hi, Dax.
Hello.
How you doing, Dax?
I good.
I spent like 14 hours in bed, man.
That's pretty fun, actually.
It wasn't. I got off the stream last night and went straight into bed. Actually, I went upstairs and slept on the couch until Lady Monkey woke me up. And then I came downstairs to bed because I didn't want to wake her up as late as I went into bed.
Sure.
And yeah, I didn't get out of bed until 7. And it was not a good sleep. It wasn't. But man, I needed it. Hi, Cirque. Hey, Dork. Hey, everyone. TOS is in the chat. Prophet of Drunk. There's so many good people here with us tonight, Dax.
I like them.
Me too. I don't really have much to banter about, but I did have a thought, and I don't know why this thought. I do know why this thought hit me. I accidentally spilled something on my belly, right? And I'm cleaning it up, and it was really close to my belly button, so I made sure to clean out my belly button. And my brain went from there to who was the first person who realized you should actually cut an umbilical cord?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And what did they do before? Did they just like carry the placenta around with the baby until it dried up and fell off?
That's so weird.
Because it's not like if you believe in evolution, you have to think that, at some point that became a thing. Faithless says chewed it off. That's disgusting.
It's quite possible they did.
But doesn't it have to be like tied off so it doesn't bleed everywhere?
Huh.
Faithless says, what do chimps do? I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, I am very interested in the first person who, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the first person who realized you should probably wipe your ass.
That person was a smart man. And it was man.
But there was a time, there has to have been a time before people wiped their butt. I'm just
Maybe they
throwing
were
that
just
out.
better poopers. Like they knew how to aim better.
There's so many things in our society and in our just the way we behave that somebody had to be the first. And it's Random says they use the placenta as a pillow. That's nasty.
I mean, if you stuff it with straw, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, so I don't know why these kind of things pop in my head, but they do. I'm pretty sure the Neanderthals also wiped their butt. Okay, but before then, I mean, you still had pseudo-humans is what I'm calling them, homo somethings, that didn't. There was some point where they didn't. There had to have been.
The questions we like put to our nice little chat in the morning, I swear.
Well, these are the kind of things I think people should wake up with. This gets your brain going like, wow, what did they do? Looked it up, chimps bite it. Okay. But have they always just knew that? That you always, I mean, Chicago Mike, thank you. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Both.
The chicken.
They were both there. Chicken fucked an egg, and that's how more chickens came to be.
I knew it.
It's science, man. I saw some article not long ago where they claimed to know the answer to that. No, you didn't. Technically, the egg did have to come first.
Oh, there's Peter. Peter, you working? Because I'm pretty sure we owe you one.
Owe him one.
Yeah, he's been asking for like 2 weeks to join us.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Peter can come on.
It's like him and Jenna P, but I haven't seen Jenna P in a couple days.
Richo says the egg came first, you fucking morons. They came from dinosaurs. Well, the egg had to have come first because from any evolution to the chicken, it would have been in the egg first. That's just. But if you go back, which one came first originally? I mean, you can say it came from dinosaurs. Okay, which came first, the dinosaur or the egg?
I still would like to think the organism that created the first child or offspring did not put it in an egg, because I think the egg would be an evolutionary trait to protect the child.
I think it was probably the egg. In any manner, the egg had to have come first, and then the retarded offspring that became what we call now a chicken. Isn't it amazing that so many of these things that we have today, like humans, they're the retarded offspring of different animals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not retarded in the, but the something went wrong with the genes, and here we are. I think that's awesome. Just think, man, if you go out there and bang some chick tonight, all right?
Some chick or some chicken.
Please bang the chick. If you go out there and you bang a lady, right? And you're humping her real hard, you could start the next species.
Oh.
Yeah. Get out there and fuck so you can get the next evolution of man.
Who doesn't want to be the next birther of the next species?
Functional says, well, mutated not really went wrong. Well, compared to them, I mean, they would think there was something wrong with us. We see people with 6 toes and we're like, ooh, that's disgusting. But how do you know that's just not what humans are supposed to be next? Don't bang chickens. That's Michael Rowland's job. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. Yeah, go out there and have some sex. Create the next evolution of man, because this one is not turning out so well. Did you see what happened with Buzzfeed?
Yeah.
I almost mentioned this before we went off air last night, but we were already on the titty subject, so I was like, we can save that. Last night, Buzzfeed had come out and said they had sources that say Donald Trump specifically told his lawyer Cohen, I think it's Michael Cohen, I can't remember, to lie to Congress. That Donald Trump specifically ordered him to lie. And all day, news outlets were like, BuzzFeed says Michael Cohen was told to lie by Trump. And you had the usual suspects, including people like Ted Lieu, who's I think is Ted a senator? I can't remember.
Don't remember.
He's in Congress. He's like, well, if this is true, then he needs to be impeached. Like, well, if it's true, maybe. But your source is fucking BuzzFeed. It's BuzzFeed. Oh yes, thank you, Stargazer Nuts. She's pimping out the new shirt. Just let it happen. Monkey in the Morning shirt. You can pick that up over at the store. The article I read last night, it's the one that I've seen the most. It's a CNN article about the BuzzFeed article. And they give us the rundown in the first paragraph. And then right under that, they say CNN has been unable to corroborate these claims. But they still put it out there as news.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. The problem, guys, is that BuzzFeed is about as accurate as a drunk guy peeing. He's just going to miss all over the place. Some of it might land in the toilet, but most of it's going to be on the floor.
Yep.
And they pissed all over the floor on this one. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. BuzzFeed is great news source. Just ask Tim Pool. Oh, did Tim? Tim didn't use them, did he?
God, I hope not.
Monkey, do the shirts only come in white, or do they come in shirts of color? Those ones are only set up to come in white. I can't change them to multiple colors. I wasn't sure how the glow would look on the other one, so I'll check it out. He defended them. He defended BuzzFeed on this.
Gross.
Of course he did, because he's Tim Pool. I don't hate Tim Pool, but man, the more he talks, the more I don't like him.
Yeah.
He pissed me off with the whole hate speech thing, and I haven't really recovered since. Where I'm trying to find the story about all of this. Oh, here is the CNN story, and I actually tweeted this out last night before everything blew up. Come on, load up. There we go. BuzzFeed sources say Trump directed Michael Cohen to lie to Congress about proposed Moscow project. President Donald Trump personally directed his longtime former attorney Michael Cohen to lie to Congress about the Moscow. I'm going to slow down and stop.
Hi, Prospero.
About the Moscow Trump Tower project, 2 federal law enforcement officials involved in an investigation of the matter told BuzzFeed. The law enforcement officials told BuzzFeed that Trump contacted Cohen to claim negotiations to build Trump Tower in Moscow ended months earlier than they actually did. The law enforcement sources told BuzzFeed that Cohen confirmed to special counsel Robert Mueller that Trump issued the order to lie to Congress. CNN has not corroborated the BuzzFeed report. But then they go on to basically just say the whole thing, to repeat what BuzzFeed wrote. But now at the bottom of the article, it says, this story has been updated to include a statement from special counsel's office disputing the accuracy of the BuzzFeed report, along with BuzzFeed's response. BuzzFeed's response is basically, because Mueller came out and he's like, this is bullshit. That's not exactly what he said. It's close to what he said. And it wasn't him. It was his their official talker. I don't know what you call that.
Advocate or whatever.
Their spokesperson.
There you go.
Their spokesperson came out and said, this is nonsense. This isn't right. Said they mischaracterized. Let's see. BuzzFeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office and characterizations of documents and testimony obtained by this office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate. And
so good.
Yeah, and BuzzFeed's response is basically, nuh-uh.
It's totally true. Just look, we got our little text message thing here.
We have unnamed sources. I fucking love that. Like, look, if you want to dispute them, bring out your sources. Ben Smith of BuzzFeed says, in response to statements tonight from the special counsel spokesman, we stand by our reporting and the sources who informed it, and we urge the special counsel to make clear what he's disputing. He pretty much said everything. The statements and your interpretation of documents. What else was there? You got it wrong. Tim Pool did point out the story was most likely false even before it was confirmed false. Problem is, Tim has way too much attachment to his former employer, so he overlooks a lot. Well, what was it he was defending then? Is this on Twitter? Do I need to look up Tim Pool on Twitter?
Who?
Let's see what Timmy said today about BuzzFeed. In response to something to the BuzzFeed spokesman statement, he says, how about you present evidence next time? I'm sick of this shit. That's a good thing. I'm not seeing much. If it's we'll look into more later. I'm more just happy that BuzzFeed got. I can't believe CNN used BuzzFeed as a source and didn't check it on their own.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this is BuzzFeed. These are the people who brought out the Steele dossier when no other news organization would touch it. They're like, we've already been told parts of it are false, and there's other parts of it that seem false. So no, we're not presenting this as news because it wasn't. And so BuzzFeed released that. BuzzFeed is still the place that has the stat up that women are raped every 6 seconds in the United States. Sorry about that, because my dick is so sore. That is a George Carlin joke. I'm okay with it. But they're not. You can't take them seriously. You just can't. And you do so at your own peril. And there's all kinds of news organizations today that were out there. Look at this. Look what BuzzFeed said. And there was one person. Oh, let's get to the Krasensteins.
They're so stupid.
Because Brian Krasenstein tweeted out, where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, there it is. The most tragic thing about this BuzzFeed mess is that the right and the president will use this as evidence that the left and the news media is fake when it was likely a small detail within the report that was inaccurate. Hannity and Trump are already having a field day. Look, if there was just one tiny thing that was wrong, Mueller would have just shut up. They have not come out and issued a statement going, this is bullshit, about any of the other shit we've seen. This is like the fourth or fifth smoking gun we've heard of. And this is the first time Mueller's team has come out and went, the stuff you just read is all bullshit. So don't tell me that it was just like some minor detail. What they're saying is we do not have evidence that the president told him to do that. That's the only, there's no other reason for them to come out and say that. Real quick, thank you, John M. Anyone notice Gillette passed off a clip of that woman from the Young Turks as a news media piece about harassment in their ad? Sneaky. Oh yeah, we saw Anna Kasparian.
That's not a woman, that's a goddess, because remember, she's better than you.
She is. She's better than us. I'm fucking better than you. Fucking what a cunt. But yeah, I saw that.
Seriously, I don't. Ugh, so
I saw that little bitch.
Little bitch with a big nose.
Yeah. But somebody in reply to old Krasenstein's stupid statement there said, well, pretty much everyone said if the reporting is true. Only BuzzFeed comes out of this dirty. No, that's bullshit. All of these people, whether they said this is coming from BuzzFeed or not, we're reporting this as though it were true. This is what's been said. None of them went out there and went, we actually checked into it, and that's bullshit. Not one of them did.
Nope.
You had a whole bunch of... Yeah, I mean, there's no... Because they were like, oh, we finally got it. Snubber says, you see the new 7 days update, building XP has increased. Yeah, we were just playing it, man.
I was going to say, how do you miss that?
me and Satsu were just playing.
I mean, it is Friday, right?
It is.
Yeah,
so,
they do their Friday night thing every Friday night. Go watch it after this. It is fun to watch. I like watching them get into trouble.
We have a lot of fun on those. Prospero says, pass it down, BuzzFeed said. Yeah, it's amazing the way you can't report on this and then pretend that your hands are dirty because you were just reporting what someone else said. If you didn't do the investigation yourself, then it's on you as well. Someone called BuzzFeed the successor to Gawker today, and I was like, yes, please. Yeah. I didn't
mean implying their success at anything.
They're about as accurate as Gawker. But I don't know why this is news to anyone that you shouldn't use BuzzFeed as a fucking source. One of the reasons that I even saw this article last night is because somebody had retweeted something to me where there was a guy bitching about when he uses BuzzFeed as a source. People are always like, BuzzFeed's your source? Yeah. That should be the reaction when BuzzFeed is your source.
I agree. I don't consider them credible.
Vivo says, sup guys, just submitted a thing to IMDb. I'm over on IMDb. So is Dax here.
I totally forgot about that.
I'm an uncredited producer and a host.
Woo! We're rolling.
You wanna send out the regular invites?
I got we got Peter, and who else you want?
We have Jack, we have Polly, you can take your choices. You pick tonight. It's yours.
Whoa. Well, if Jenna shows up, she's got one coming to her because she did say she wanted to, but I don't see her right now. So for now, the usual suspects.
Weebo says, same monkey. I'm trying to get side quest on there. You should check me out on there, man. I'm big stuff over there. I think like we had 80 votes or some shit like that. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Oh God, yeah. Fucking Buzzfeed is a news source. What the fuck is wrong with you? We have a problem in our country with our news not being news anymore. It is just rumor. It's just fucking rumor. And yeah. Did you hear about baby Hitler?
Baby Hitler.
We got to talk about baby Hitler. There was the March for Life today. And for those of you who don't know, March for Life is a pro-life march that they do. And they did the March for Life, and Ben Shapiro gets up there and he's talking about abortion and the argument that stopping abortion has lowered or having abortion has lowered the crime rate. And he goes, that's not a very good way to have this discussion. He goes, look, pro-life people, if you said, go back in time and you could stop Hitler, you could abort Hitler, they'd be like, no, because baby Hitler, he didn't do anything wrong. What they would say is take baby Hitler and put him in a better environment, give him to better parents, so he doesn't turn out to be Hitler. And this just made the web blow up for several hours today.
That's so weird.
Baby Hitler was trending on Twitter. It was funny as fuck.
All you need to do to stop the Holocaust is send Hitler to art school.
There you go.
Is literally it.
What they should have done is brought Hitler to the U.S. and raised him here. Because if he was raised here, he couldn't become president because he'd be a foreigner.
That's fair.
Done.
Clever.
You win, monkey.
I
get used to it, though.
I have all kinds of good ideas.
Now, to implement them.
Nobody ever takes my good ideas, which is weird because they are so good.
How are we supposed to take that idea and run with it?
Well, what we need to do, instead of going back in time and killing Hitler, which seems to be what a lot of people want to do, we need to go back in time, kidnap baby Hitler, and bring him to the U.S.
Okay, but how do we go back in time?
We make a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't hard stuff.
No, but how do you make the time machine?
You build it.
Okay.
Hire Doc Brown.
How do you configure the technology in order to bend space and time to your will in order to go back in time?
You make it. I feel like you're not understanding how easy this is.
Oh, it's easy.
It's very easy.
Is there a theoretical astrophysicist in the chat, just perchance, that can hop on and school monkey in the ways of the physics?
They got to be there somewhere.
Physics. You actually have to ignore physics to make it happen. I don't see.
The closest I can
Jack.
see getting is throwing someone close to a black hole.
Jack?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying about how easy it is to make time travel happen?
Obviously. I mean,
thank you. See, you know what it is? This is why women shouldn't get the right to vote, because they just don't understand simple premises.
Good thing I'm a trap.
People time travel in phone booths all the time. Between that doctor guy, or all 13 of them, and Bill and Ted, people are traveling in phone booths. It's obviously very easy to do.
Yes, but how do you go about conducting that sort of shenanigans?
You make it.
Okay.
I don't know where we're losing.
Semantically, how would you go about doing that?
Using the science, obviously.
Thank you. I feel like she's making it harder than it needs to be.
Well, I think she's using decolonized science.
No, you can never make it too hard.
It's the damn woman thing. I mean,
it's her tiny girl brains.
Hang on. You know very
real quick,
well.
Excuse me. Thank you, John. Call the man with the way back machine. There you go. See, I mean, there's so many ways to do it. All you got to do is slingshot around the sun.
Yeah, there was even a show in the 60s about people that wandered through a tunnel. It was called the Time Tunnel.
No. You don't slingshot around the sun. You fly the other way around the Earth so that it reverses.
Yeah,
in
see,
time.
Superman can do it. So
Okay, but can you fly?
just because I am a landist doesn't mean that
Thank
you
you.
get to shame me for that.
Yes,
Okay.
I do. That's exactly what that means.
Oh,
She's
you
got a point.
Those flyers, man, they are just such bigots.
Ugh. Yeah, they're the bigots.
See, I would actually take baby Hitler with me and abscond through time with him, and he would be Time Hitler.
Ooh,
And we'd have
Time Hitler.
misadventures, and it would be a wacky buddy cop movie.
Time Hitler.
Yep, The Adventures of Time Hitler.
Oh boy.
I'm doing something. I apologize.
Same. I'm just sitting here.
Well, you should be figuring out how to do time travel. Fucking
Yeah, I'll
women.
get right on that right after I figure out how to freeze the ocean completely and
Are you a supervillain?
I feel like we
reverse-
needed to see this again.
what? Wait, hang on. Where?
Fuck yeah!
How you
Go
doing,
ahead,
dude?
Gutenberg.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, how's everybody? Happy Friday. What are we
Is
up
my
to?
microphone? Is it acceptable?
Sure.
You're
For
fine.
I mean, for the women version, yeah, sure.
But no, but I'm a trap though. So where do I stand in this?
See, she's trying to claim dick privilege when she don't really have it. I feel like that's
My dick is the biggest dick in the yard.
you don't have no dick.
She's
It
got a
is-
huge dick. What are you talking about?
it
Just
is-
just because your clit sticks out farther than it's supposed to doesn't make it a dick.
That's a huge clitoris. That is not a
It's-
dick.
No. It's a dick. It's 87 feet.
There is
of
no
pure
hole in the front. That is a
dicketry.
clit. That is not a dick.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
just because Steve Shives has a smaller penis than you doesn't make it a penis, okay?
Oh man, you leave Steve out of this. But Weebo, how are you doing?
I am so good. I just got off side quests and I'm still.
No one
half
cares. Monkey, how you doing?
I was
Dude,
just going to iterate how I'm half
women,
wearing
you know.
my thief costume.
Yep. Monkey,
take it
how you
all
doing?
off, turn on your camera, and people will care. I'm not too bad, Goot. How you doing tonight, man?
Have you
Oh
not?
man, I was giving the women's in here some a little bit of shit. I like Weebo. She's a nice, upstanding young broad.
Oh, I love weed.
No, thank you.
But happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. How are you guys?
I'm
good.
enjoying some news, man. It's been a fun news day with Baby Hitler and Buzzfeed. So
Baby Hitler.
You missed
Yeah.
it.
Can't
I
believe
did miss
missed
it.
that.
I tapped in a little late, man. What's up with the Baby Hitler?
Ben Shapiro giving a speech at the March for Life said that no pro-lifers would want Baby Hitler aborted. They would just want him raised in a different house, taken away from the environment that raised him and put somewhere else, so he didn't grow up to be a Jew-hating dictator dickhead.
All right, but what if those liberal art college professors actually accepted him into that Austrian school? Like, what?
There's a lot of ifs, man, and
Yeah, but do you really were you really entertaining this story though?
well, I was. There is actually a decent discussion there. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. Wow.
Oh my god.
Help me say it, dude.
Gungavar.
Gungavar, thank you. Good morning, all, especially to Monkey from Greece again. How are you all doing? Hope all good. I am very well, especially after that. Thank you so much.
What is that?
Gungavar, do you
75
enjoy
American?
medieval roleplay
Something like
stream
that.
shows? Just curious.
What
Yeah.
is the conversion from euro to dollar, man? That's like $75, dude.
It's like 72 cents for us on their dollar, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Wow, what a
Chicken
Greek
sticks.
hero.
Yeah.
And this is a good time to remind you guys that Monkey in the Morning is brought to you by Ranting Monkey, and you can support the channel by sharing, by liking it, or financially if you can. Thank you so much.
That's
Hey.
$56.85 American.
Nice.
No, that's wrong. It's
I
gotta
just
be more
looked
than
it
that,
up.
right? Okay.
No,
The
the
euro
euro's
is
falling a
falling.
little bit.
Yes. All right. Sure. Monkey. Now I must admit, dude, I fell off the wagon tonight
Are you drunk?
a little bit.
It
That
sounds like
explains. You're a little bit loud tonight.
Well, hold on. Is that better?
That is a little bit better. Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I fell off the wagon a little bit tonight. I apologize, but I figured I'd come on and say hi to my internet friends.
I appreciate that. I love when you come by.
You won't tonight. You'll regret it.
Terry,
Continue.
Thank you so much, Terry. Can't we abort every single baby from now on? Why risk another Hitler being born? That's actually what Ben's point was. Because of the argument that has been used that where they actually use the number of abortions and try to tack that onto why crime is down.
Huh?
That's kind of racist, isn't it?
That's especially when blacks are aborted. So holy shit.
What kind of dude? Where do you work and get me a job?
That's like $112 American money.
Ganguvar, thank you so much. There you go. I have some more. No worries. Enjoy the show, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Just for the record, there's my Streamlabs.
Should I also include mine?
Yeah, guys, show yourselves in the chat because I'm too lazy to do it. Except for Dax. Dax, throw yours in there. If you enjoy the show, support Dax. Dax is a great uncredited producer as well.
Ooh, should I work on crediting him?
If you want to, I mean, I am your big bro.
Yeah, that's fair.
Prospero says Ram incoming for Monkey. Yeah. Mostly the donations I've been getting are going to filling that. By the way, Prospero, I need to say something to you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have eaten today. No, that is absolutely true. I had a very rough day where I spent most of my day in bed, and the only reason I was able to eat is because there's a fridge right there.
He loves that mini fridge. He really does.
I love that fucking mini fridge.
Yeah, mini fridges are awesome. I have one right next to me.
I'm not surprised, Jack.
I'm
in my kitchen.
This puts food on my floor of this house, and it makes it so I could eat. And that actually it's why I ate today. So thank you so much.
Question: if I donate to myself, do I get that money in the exact amount, or do I get depleted monies?
You lose money.
You lose money.
Yeah, they take a percentage.
Why would you donate to yourself?
No, I didn't. I'm just curious.
Yes, but you entertained the idea.
I did because I feel lonely. It's been 2 months since I had a Streamlabs donation. The reason being is because I haven't streamed on my channel in forever.
Well, start streaming.
Start streaming. Yeah, it's really easy to just turn on a stream, yo.
Well,
especially for the women, dude. Just wear a low cut shirt.
I mean, I was planning on streaming tomorrow, but I don't like. School is a thing.
Yeah.
School's always been a thing though, so that's not a good excuse. I'm also on like 2 live stream shows twice a week too, so that's a thing.
Pussy.
And I'm double majoring.
You know how many live streams I do a day?
Yeah, you monkey. Okay, hang on. We need to have
monkey. You're a cripple at home. Like, come on. She's a young, aspiring entrepreneur.
Okay, she could do an hour-long stream. Come on.
I could. I really
she
could.
Says she's doing 2 weeks. Leave it alone.
I will do one tomorrow. How's
Wait,
that?
hang on. How much time do you spend streaming a week right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's.
Oh shit! I asked a girl to do math.
7 hours a week.
Don't do it.
That's 7 hours a week in total.
An hour a day.
Thank you, big brother, who donated $2 to say, "Yeah, love ya, little bro." You didn't have to donate to me, Dax.
Yeah, but I do. So.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Circus Zero, $5 first.
Hey.
Okay. You don't have to donate. I was just complaining for the sake of complaining because I'm a woman and that's what I love.
If Weibo doesn't want your money, I do. So here's my Streamlabs.
No. Don't get me wrong. I want your money. I'm just saying, don't feel like you're guilted into giving me money.
Oh,
I'm never guilted into doing shit.
That's fair.
Sounds like you just wear. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah. It reminded me she has a Streamlabs, so there you go.
There you
I
go.
do have a Streamlabs.
But
It's
what
very
about
nice Streamlabs.
Dan, how do you say his name again?
Gongovar?
Congavar. God damn, dude.
With a G.
I know. I picture the Greeks like rolling down some sunset fucking highway, like along the coast, button shirt opened up in like some sort of sports car. Are those guys just balling out of there? What are they doing? Like, what do Greek people actually do? What is their major export?
I thought they had like a big money crisis.
Olives.
I thought they were too. They were having like a fucking
Weibo's answering you guys.
Sorry, Weibo.
Wait, what?
They export olives.
They export olives, yeah.
Is that
And
is
butt
that true?
sex. No,
Is that true?
Olives and butt sex.
Governor Navarre or whatever you name it. What is your major export out of Greece?
He
Olives.
just said it too. Olives.
Is it really olives?
I'm not even kidding.
Is that it? Not
Olive oil.
cars, not textiles. It's really olives.
It's really olives. I think you underestimate the amount of olives are in Greece.
I guess so, but you think like you grow olives anywhere along that fucking
No.
equator? Okay, sure.
Not necessarily. I mean, you can, but it's a major export of Greece.
Oh, you've been to Greece, have you not?
She was just over there.
Oh, wow. Can you tell us about Greece a little bit? Like, how was the culture like?
Okay. So I went to Athens, and no offense, Gangavar, but Athens is kind of a shithole, and I think it has to do with the fact that they had had riots recently.
Wow.
And so the buildings everywhere was covered in graffiti, and all of the windows had those little shades that were metal shades to stop rioting, I guess, and damages incurred during riots. Other than that, though, all of the ancient sites that we went to go see were pretty cool, and I learned so much. And I will say this, it was a lot hotter than I thought it was going to be.
You're in the Mediterranean, right?
He says that's all true. While you were there, how much butt sex did you have?
I had no butt sex. I had no sex in the slightest. I actually had to share a room with someone else.
Did you go with your boyfriend?
When in Rome, it was the Romans do. Come on.
No, I did not go with my boyfriend. I went through my school, and my boyfriend did not go to my school.
I gotcha. Did you have an overall good time? What is drinking age over there? Is it 18 or 21 or what?
It's less than what I was when I went there, so I got fucked.
Fuck. What do you have? Some, like Greek wine or what? What is like the go-to staple of the Greek people? Like, what do they drink at the bar?
It's actually pretty funny because my professor, the whole time that we were prepping for the trip, was like, yeah, okay, so the school is not going to be supplying you with alcohol. Any money that you pay for on this trip is not going to go towards paying for alcohol. And then we get there, and it's wine included with every single meal that we eat. And then we also went out of our way to go to a winery.
I'm moving to Greece, man. Fuck this shit. What am I doing in my life?
Let's make your own brand.
So they drink like wine with everything. He's in the chat right now saying it's at any age. So are you saying like a teenager, like a 15-year-old at a restaurant, assuming could just get pretty hammered off wine?
Well, hang on. I think
they don't drink it the way we do.
We got a more important question to address. What's the age of consent in Greece?
Jesus. It's the same as the wine.
Well, no,
whatever it goes, man.
The way that I understand the culture, at least for Greek people, according to my boyfriend, is that you can basically they just kind of indulge upon that from an early age, and it's not frowned upon.
Just like the butt sex.
Jesus Christ. That's an ancient practice since made taboo by certain pressures from media. I would think everywhere but the Catholic Church.
I really want to go to Greece now, man. This is like the greatest promo ever.
I liked it. I liked it quite a lot.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Now, have you been to any other European country?
I also visited Turkey while I was over there.
Wait, Turkey?
Yeah.
Turkey. Talk about a shithole. Why'd you guys go to Turkey?
Okay, part of the trip was on the mainland of Greece, but the other part of it was on a cruise ship. And so the second half of the trip, we went around the Aegean, and we actually visited Ephesus, which is an ancient Greek site in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
And so we didn't actually learn as much there as we did on the mainland of Greece or in any of the other locations that we went to in the Aegean, mainly because, no offense, Turkish people, but your archaeological and humanities is kind of it's slacking, at least in the tourism department.
Nothing matters except Allah. Now, is your teacher involved in human trafficking? Because that kind of sounds like what was really happening here.
Oh, no.
We sell you the pretty one for $5.
No, he does this trip every year.
Yep, and
that sounds like a trip
here for 2 weeks. It's either Italy or it's Greece.
That's how he affords that nice car.
Yeah, it's that stop in Turkey, man. That's the final destination, if you will.
I
Did
did
you
not
move
get
anybody on the
sleep in
trip?
Turkey Ryan Waters though, or Walters.
There were 10 of them when they went. Only 9 came back.
It's funny. It's actually really funny because we went to Turkey and it was just for like the morning into the afternoon. And we went to Ephesus in the morning and then we went to a rug selling place and it's 10 in the morning and they're giving me wine and I'm already drunk.
Yeah, they're like, here's some wine. Hey, does this rag smell like ether? And next thing you know, you're rolled up in one of those carpets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Governor Barnett says Turkey is an Islamic country with all the negatives. Did you experience the Islamic culture over there, Weibo?
Not really. No.
Do you have to wear a burqa?
I did not have to wear a burqa.
Oh.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
a little bit.
I want to see you in a burqa.
I was disappointed when you said you didn't have butt sex. That's when I stopped listening.
Yeah, he tuned out when that happened.
He tuned into Stacey Dash over there.
Oh, God.
You know what? I don't have Stacey Dash up.
God damn it, Goot.
Hey,
But
man.
you know what's going to happen.
Man's a man. You got to let a man do what he wants to do.
You know, I have yet to actually, because I've been watching this show like a lurker, like a filthy lurker for a while now, and you always mention Stacey Dash, but I have no idea what she looks like.
Okay, you remember the movie Clueless?
No, she's 20,
She's
dude.
20, man.
Yeah, but I've seen stuff
Yeah,
from
no,
like
I remember the movie Clueless, but I'm like, who is this?
Not like we remembered the movie Clueless.
Yeah, but you'll
It was
remember
so
images. So
fetch.
you remember the mulatto friend she had?
The black girl from
Oh,
Clueless.
yeah.
That's
Barely
Stacey-
black. Yeah.
That's Stacey Dash.
That's Stacey Dash. Hang on.
I don't see it, Monkey. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
She's the cutest mixed
Don't
girl
see it.
I've ever seen.
Go to his
Hey.
Discord, you'll see why he likes her.
Huh?
Is Discord not safe for work? Go to Monkeys and you'll see what we mean.
Monkey's using his Discord, really?
No, in his Discord, he's got a not safe for work.
Sometimes. It depends on what we're talking about. I use my Discord to look at
The
Stacey
porn
Dash.
only, yes.
Why can't I can't. There's no. Is it? Oh, NSFW. Is it the first one?
No, just hang on. Let me
You have
Oh
to
my
scroll up
God.
because people
Yeah,
have
there's
been
some
putting-
stuff in there.
Messages.
Well,
Not
there's-
as
it
long
only-
as you get them.
It got
Look.
active recently because he looked in there. So
people have been enjoying.
are
Sending, wow, who said that? Is some weird shit. Who is that? Who
This
did
is
that?
animated elf porn. This is not Stacey Dash.
I'm
Gundam.
trying
That
to
is some
help him.
weird shit.
Don't you have these things on hand in a file somewhere?
He should.
Me,
But
no. I just look here.
He
It gives
stores
me a
that
reason-
stuff off site.
Don't like elf sex? What
It
is?
gives me a reason to look at my Discord because everybody complains that I don't use my Discord enough. So now I'm using it.
Your Discord is pitiful.
What?
whoa.
Oh, God.
No. As a Discord builder, this is what
I don't
like,
want to build a Discord.
seven
It always turns
channels.
into fucking.
Can you
Okay.
change function? Do you even use voice chat for
I
anything?
found out where
Yes.
it is. You got to go past the nugget porn and then the redhead with the Christmas stuff, and you'll find her.
Wait, nugget
Just-
porn is in like no arms, no legs porn?
Yeah, there's one image of nugget porn, and you'll find it.
Oh, God.
He found it.
I ain't doing that. You guys are fucking horrible.
What? Look at that girl, Goot. Check her out. Just actually look at her face. Look how pretty she
In your
is.
Discord? And
Yeah.
NSF. Well, post the link in the chat so everybody can enjoy.
Oh yeah, I
Christ
should probably
almighty.
put that out
Yeah,
there.
let everybody see how degenerate these people are.
For those who want to see what we're talking about, this is Monkey's Discord.
Oh, my God, dude. I got to scroll like a half an hour to get to the bottom.
I
It's
know
not-
somebody needs to put some new pictures of Stacy in there because
Ooh, those are some pricky.
Oh, wait a
pics.
minute.
What?
I'm at the bottom. I don't see any Stacey
Oh, you
Dash.
got to scroll up.
And
You got to go
my
past the nugget
because
girl.
the
Oh,
Asian
come on. You're making me
Christians
scroll and
here
shit.
for Dax.
I mean, I appreciate the Asian ones, so thank you for putting them in there.
I know, dude.
Faithless asks, is it real or is it Photoshop? It's real. She did she's done
Holy
a
fuck.
couple of naked shoots.
I found the nugget.
Oh, the
Yay,
midget.
you're almost there.
Oh, my God. It's a
Keep
midget.
going. Oh,
She's
wow.
hot as fuck. What? That's a bad motherfucking
Yeah,
midget.
Monkey, I thought you liked midgets.
I do like midgets.
He wasn't
Yeah,
talking
but
about
I
that. He was
thought
talking
you
about
loved them more than life itself.
No,
I
Monkey's
like
Stacey Dash.
midgets. I do, but look at Stacy. Oh my god.
That midget is shockingly proportionate.
I like the proportionate midgets. They
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're just correct.
I do like them though that they still have to have the short arms so that when they run they kind of fan side to side.
Like T-Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Why is she mooning us in this picture?
I think
Stacey
she's
Dash.
displaying
There's
her
no-
wares.
Do not
She's-
ask why.
Super chat.
Thank you, John. You all's mad dash for Stacy Dash.
Not you
okay.
all. I find her attractive, but she's not my mad dash. That is
All
straight
right,
up.
if someone would please, por favor, put some Dick Grayson in there, that would be nice.
I shall do your bidding, little bro.
Don't you dare.
Thank you,
Fucking
dear.
Dan over here.
Well, if Dax gets porn, I want porn too.
That is
Jack's
true.
gonna get porn. This is for
I
me.
did. Stacy. No, you had Stacy, and I got Kate Upton. She's in there.
Ooh, Kate Upton. Where's Kate
I
Upton?
wasn't paying
I
attention to that.
stumbled
We have
across
degenerated to naked time way too early.
Yeah, it happens really
I'm
quick.
sorry. You want to go back to butt sex? I'm sorry, Greece.
Greek, no, yeah, Greek butt sex, not just regular butt sex.
What's the olive oil?
Olive oil.
Ooh, olive oil poured all over Stacy Dash.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
Fun fact, guys. Did you know that if you take a shot of olive oil before you start drinking, you can drink more because it doesn't absorb as fast?
Nah, I call bullshit.
I call
No,
bullshit.
try it out. It coats the inside lining of your stomach and makes it harder.
20-year-olds
to
telling us about drinking, Goot.
Right.
Collagen.
Yeah, talking about drinking and having sex. Yeah, it's sure thing.
Gross. Olive oil's disgusting. Why would you do that first?
So you can drink more.
No, you drink
get
more, you
drunk.
fucking eat bread. You eat something fatty and fucking.
Oh,
Yeah.
why did you send me Flash? Oh my god.
You don't drink for the flavor.
Eve.
Weird.
There we
Stacey
go.
Dash is my future wife, and I won't put up with this smack talking about her. Look, Polly. I'm not talking smack about her. I'm just saying I'd like to put my wiener in every hole she'll let me.
Inner nostril?
Fuck yeah!
God, Gangavar, thank you so much.
Dude, you are on fire today.
Olive oil is good for everything, even butt sex confirmed.
Did I not? Did I
Well,
not
you know, it does make sense. You know, olive oil. What is lubricant? It is
Oil.
an oil based. Yeah,
It doesn't
olive
have
oil.
to be water based. It can be
and 4 times as cheap. Fun fact.
that too.
It could just be spit. You're right.
Why is this a picture of Dick Grayson getting gangbanged?
There are so many bad pictures.
Whoever
If
did
you
that,
wanted
I
dick-
thank you.
Why am I looking at cartoons right now?
Hang
I
on,
know.
hang on.
What is wrong with your generation? Why can't you just post normal pictures?
That's not. I didn't post it. It was Eve.
Fucking trannies, dude. They ruin everything.
There are so many gay things that came up for this. You know how long it took me to find one by himself?
Can you get me something with like less gay?
Less cartoony. Why do you need to like anthropomorphize? Come on, I'm dumb and you make me use things.
Anthropomorphize.
John says,
Why do you gotta do that shit with cartoons, man?
Hang on. Is
hang on.
that
John says, Monkey, you're getting into cocaine cash territory now.
Oh, I do.
the
it back
internet
then.
is
Yeah,
a
I
cesspool?
know.
The internet is not a cesspool. The internet is humanity.
Your Discord is a cesspool.
Yeah, pretty
This is anime. Come on,
Oh,
guys.
not anime. Get that crap off my
It-
Eve
it's
is
fun-
making me regret everything. Oh, look, an Asian. With a
I
V.
like-
You see her dig dug titty? That's
Oh.
awesome.
Asian titties are sweet.
Hang on,
they are
Asian titties are
others.
not that big. I've seen them in real life.
Who
It
is that?
depends
So
on which
bad,
one.
they can get
Wait,
pretty
why? Chaos. You guys are horrible. Stacy Dash needs to be on here.
Do your
Hey,
own
Polly,
Stacy
go.
dashing.
Shh, hang on. Let it happen. Shh. Polly, throw some naked Stacy Dash, would you?
Dan, come on, stop. What are you doing, dude?
Stop putting dick in there.
It's degeneracy.
No, I asked for dick and I'm getting dick.
But a woman says, "Give me dick," you got to do it.
Not
Rented
putting
me.
dick, you
I don't
fucking
think I've
weirdo.
ever heard you say stop putting dick in there. And I didn't
What?
think I'd ever hear you say that seriously.
Now, hold on, Bebo. Does a cartoon dick turn you on?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. There's something wrong with my brain that tells me that if I see something phallic to think, yes.
I get you young in the cartoons and all that shit, but it's a cartoon dick. Like, how do you even?
If it has a penis and there is vagina, I cannot complain. Okay.
I get that part of it, but why not a real life still? Like when you're
Yeah,
looking at
there's-
cartoon. I get it, but it's weird, right?
This is the internet. You can find actual dick.
I know. Yes, thank you.
Well, this is what she wanted, so that's what she got.
I don't think she wants real dick. She wants the cartoon fucking toned up version of it. Right?
No, I already got laid earlier this week. I'm
I don't-
good
There you
for.
go.
Earlier this week. That is so sad.
Oh, sorry. When was the last time you got laid?
If you don't say today, I'm going to be
I'm
disappointed.
not 20. When I was 20, I could say hours ago.
Let's see. Sunday,
I was
Monday,
back in my.
Tuesday,
Anime porn is meth.
Wednesday
for the brain.
morning.
It's weird, dude. Anime porn is fucking weird, and I don't get
It
how
is. I don't
people
get it.
talk about it. I'm fucking lost when I look
I'm
at
not a
it.
fan of hentai porn, but there's some pretty hot other stuff. You need to look up a series called
No, I don't
Dropout?
need to, oh, come on, dude. I hate these assholes. You need to watch this, dude. You need to check this
No,
out.
I say give it a shot. I don't say you need to do shit.
Have you heard of hentai? No, I'm just kidding.
I looked up hentai and I watched quite a bit of it, trying to figure out what the fucking fuss was.
Yeah,
it was
sure.
dumb.
That's exactly why you
get it.
watched quite a bit of it.
I tried it. Well, listen,
You
All right,
have
Mark.
little imagination. That's why.
I was
There's
able to go
Pornhub. Pornhub, you can go watch actual people fucking, and it can be any kind of weirdness that you want. It does. Why cartoons?
Do they have tentacles, monkey? Do they have tentacles?
Yeah. Do they have
There
tentacles?
are.
Hang
Just
on,
for
hang
the
on.
record,
Real
there
life
is some
tentacle
live
porn.
action tentacle porn.
Yeah, but
Thank
it's not
you.
as good as the hentai shit.
I want to
Oh my
see
God.
a
Well,
fucking.
none of it's good.
No, hold on. I want to see a scared co-ed going in for that first fucking dick on the casting couch. Like that's hot to me.
Casting
Right?
couch.
Actually,
I love casting couch.
That's
She
something
got-
I can get behind or in front of, whatever position is necessary.
I want to see the flash in her eyes of her life's decisions at that point. Like that's
Yes.
what I want to see.
You want to see the
Scared.
laugh in their eyes? There's some
You
BC
gotta
porn
do
for that.
anal too.
She needs to pay her rent. It's fucking 1 month overdue. That
Mhm.
kind of look. Not this fucking cartoon bullshit. What are we doing with the Western world? What is happening?
It's all falling apart, Goop.
It's all falling. Sorry, dude.
Oh,
Monkey,
yeah.
I told you. I'm all right. Go ahead.
Have you not seen my pee-pee puppets?
All right, Dan.
You're what?
No.
Her peaky puppets.
I
No.
got dick gummies in the mail because I opened up a PO box, and that was, of course, what someone sent me, and I turned them into Magog, Beardbarian, and Stuttering Soliloquy.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I was
Speaking
played
of
with
your
them
PO
on-
box, who's got the special gift right now? Did Gasly send along?
Yeah, Gasly still has it. I don't know if he's gone to his mailbox yet or not or whatever. We can
Hmm.
check. Hang on. If he adhered to the rules at all, that's another issue.
I mean, if he kept it for private use, he should do the courteous thing and tell you.
Yeah, he should. Just be like, hey, I'm gonna keep it. And yeah.
Ganguvar says he's single, and when he sees me streaming, he throws some shekels this way because they don't have streamers over there at this time.
Well, we're glad you do it. It helps us
I
keep
appreciate
going.
it so much.
Yeah, how'd that Article 13 go?
Ooh.
The vote's Monday.
Ever have streamers?
Okay, so you have a countdown then till Monday. Enjoy this while you can.
Weebo, are you back in college now, or what? Did that start back up?
Yeah, that starts back up.
All right.
I'm actually about to take a final next week.
final?
Wait,
What are you majoring in, if you don't mind me asking?
Computer science and psychology.
Oh, okay. All
Mhm.
right. Just curious. I'm sure I'm not the only one that wondered that.
Yeah, probably.
I've
not.
asked before, but it's only to be polite.
You don't actually care?
It's just I know my memory's never gonna hold it.
No, that's fine.
I'm just wondering what the women's are up to these days. What they're getting into.
Frosted Glass, thank you so much. How many nukes before Japan cuts out the anime shit?
I think they just
probably
ignore.
are, man. It's all that radiation that's fucked them up.
Well, that
Hey,
might have been
you
the
know what?
cause of it.
Yeah.
If side quests ever just kind of tapers off, I always have a career in anime waifu voice acting.
Well, that's probably
I
true.
can do really high voices.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love the way Asian girls sound, though. That's so hot.
Yeah.
Like they're afraid of the dick.
They're crying.
Yeah.
Ryan says, "Great, Weibo can tell us what's wrong with Gutenberg."
Oh, what?
Powers of the
There
day,
ain't nothing
whatever.
wrong with Goot.
Dude, I'm not out of control right now, right? Like,
No, you're
everything's
good,
cool.
man. You're good.
All right, all right.
I like
You
that you keep checking, though. That's awesome.
Yeah,
appreciate
what? No, dude, I've ruined your streams way too many times. I always kind of felt bad about it. So, I'd wake up next morning like, oh, that sucks. I mean, I'd move on with my day, but I always had that thought in the back of my mind.
No, it's good, man. It's good.
You're welcome.
Apparently,
Believe me,
I
if you ever
could-
got too bad, I'd just be like, "Goot, we got to let you go," and kick you off.
Sure, and please do that.
It's time we parted ways.
Let's see. At least you can do something with that computer science degree. That's true.
Yeah. Hey.
What?
The other degree is kind of useful.
Sure, it is.
In everyday life.
On TV.
Yeah, that too.
I don't even know where to go from here. We hit the end at the beginning. That's weird.
Did you guys hear about Jesus Christ being accused of sexual assault?
You kidding me?
I'm sorry, Jesus Christ?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
On that note, I'm going to tap out of here.
We'll see you next time, bud.
I'm dead serious. Have a good night, guys.
See you later, good man.
Thank you for stopping by, man.
Yeah, Jesus, the Fiverr streamer guy, or the Fiverr guy.
Oh yeah. We
Jesus
talked about it briefly yesterday.
No. Yeah, well, that was the thing. I didn't catch that.
He's got accused of it by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he did.
He made a video about it, but I haven't watched the video.
I should probably watch that video too, so I know actually what's going on.
But did he ask himself for forgiveness?
Yeah, I like the line that somebody said there, Mary Magdalene me too'd.
Oh man. Oh, Sabian, that is my favorite picture, Stacy.
Oh my gosh. Now I have to see.
No, it's great because you get to see everything. Well, except for the very, very good stuff. But you see her butt, her boobs, and that smile. Look at that smile, man.
Did you just say that the vagina is very, very good stuff?
Yes.
That shit looks weird.
It might look weird, but it feels
weird.
wonderful.
Well, yeah, it might feel wonderful, but I wouldn't know anything about that because my dick cannot be supported by any one input system.
Yeah. You just said you had sex, though. So did you get banged in the booty? You told us you don't have butt sex, so there's something going wrong there.
You want me to draw you a picture of how my anatomy works? Because I can, although you do hate cartoons, so I don't know.
Down, Jack, down.
I'm just saying there's a third port of entry that you haven't considered, Monkey.
Yeah, Monkey. Wait, hang on.
Every woman has that third hole.
Which one are we talking about?
Well, I was referring to the mouth, but
okay, thank you.
Depending on the size of the penis, it could have been your nostril. I don't know.
Could have been an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weibo sounds a little slurry because Weibo is very tired. It is 3:18 and I woke up today at 8 and got drunk last night until 1. So, by the way, white Russians aren't actually white. I hope that I didn't ruin your day.
That's a little racist, but
it's Caucasians. I mean, Jesus.
I thought they were white. I've been lied to.
They're not part of the ethno state. I'm sorry.
Okay. We gotta do some news, guys.
Oh no, I'm looking.
Oh,
no.
Here's some news.
Oh, minimize.
A squirrel that lives in my attic may have died today.
Oh, what happened to it?
He got electrocuted.
Oh. Did he bite like a wire?
No. I have a trap. It's a Petzilla control electronic thing. I just threw a link for it in the description. Man, those things are great. It's like a taser in a tube.
Jesus Christ.
You put a little bait in there and they run in and they press this metal plate down and zap. Instant death.
Wait, you said he might have been killed. Do you know for sure?
Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny it in case the other one that lives in the attic is listening.
Oh,
Did you stomp on him just for good measure?
No, I just bagged him up and threw him out in the dumpster. It was like, suck it, you bitch. I hate those things so much.
I love squirrels. Fuck you.
Well, you can have dead ones.
But I've never had one in my house, so.
Oh, they're awful. They fucking run around. I'm listening to the other one now because he runs through the walls and the ceiling, like the drop ceiling. He'll run across the tiles, and it freaks you out at like 3 a.m.
Tailed says bad comic reviews has traps in his attic. Confirmed.
Yeah, you would think they would have done something about it and made me some nice Thai food, but here we are.
Hey, I have a question for you, Monkey, from James calling in the chat. Do you know anything about scissoring the portals?
No.
Noob.
Nice.
Normie.
When a driver decided to destroy a giant snowman in Petersburg, Kentucky on Monday, the culprit got a rude awakening. Instead of poor Frosty being murdered, the snowman got his revenge since its base was a giant tree trunk in the yard.
Yep. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Dumbass tried to run over a snowman in somebody's yard and hit a giant tree instead.
Genius.
I heard that happens on occasion.
That's what you get, dick. What kind of dick does that? Who's like, I see
The dick kind, I guess. Goes,
The dick kind of dick.
I'm gonna run over a snowman in somebody's yard. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because this isn't like it's on the edge of the street or anything. This is way up in the fucking yard.
Wait, was it a snowman wearing a Trump hat? Because then it makes a little bit more sense.
No, it was just a snowman.
So somebody trying to be a total douchebag, and they got their comeuppance.
as well they should.
That's fuck that guy, dick.
Anybody remember like making them when you were younger? How long it actually takes to make a good snowman?
Yeah,
I never made snowmen. I don't like being outside in the cold.
Well, then why do you live so far north?
well, this thing was huge. Like, you had to have spent hours building this thing.
Yes,
it was not small.
Yeah, the tree trunk that it's wrapped around was fucking huge.
Oh, Tail's right. It's Snow Person.
Oh, sorry. Well, this says snowman, so I'm assuming they checked its gender.
With a little carrot wiener.
I had a big carrot wiener. That one was sent in. By the way, I'm over on MI. Where am I at?
MIT AM.
Thank you. MITAM, our hashtag over on the Twitter machine. If you want to send us stories that we're going to ignore for 2 days before we finally look at them again. That was sent to us from Jack. What's this one? Oh, God. This one comes to us from Sarah. Feminists respond to January movement. It's racist not to shave your armpits. Oh, my God. Last week, we brought you the happy news that feminists were encouraging women to grow out their body hair during the month of January to raise awareness about the oppressiveness of traditional gender norms and to speak out in defense of body positivity. The idea is simple. Women aren't shaving off their body hair during the month of January and instead are raising funds for an organization in the UK that helps educate girls and women about building self-esteem. Can't they shave and donate?
Perhaps.
It began with an Instagram post from a struggling actress and eventually morphed its way into a social media phenomenon. At last count, nearly 3,000 women had posted about their participation in January, and the founder had raised nearly $2,000 for her charity of choice, which I'm guessing with the rest of this is for her Haagen-Dazs fund. It seems like the perfect feminist cause, right? But it turns out not all feminists are on board. In an incredible piece for the ultra-feminist website Jezebel, writer Prachi Gupta explains that white women embracing the hairy armpit trend aren't actually demonstrating against oppression. In fact, they're reinforcing it, as well as expressing support for notions of white supremacy, racism, and colonialism.
What's her name again? Crotchety Poochta?
Something. It's Prachi Gupta. Yeah.
It sounds like a sad infected disease.
It sounds like something that makes a pussy drip.
Indian herpes.
Ugh.
Let's please keep it in perspective. A white woman discovering and promoting the wonders of not shaving her pits in the dead cold of winter when we shave the least anyway is not particularly brave stance, Gupta writes. She's not wrong about that.
Shave all the time, ladies. It's just disgusting. If I wanted to be with a man, I'd be with a man.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty white women are often celebrated for their bushy eyebrows or for their courageousness in growing long, silky strands from their pits. But it's black and brown women and trans people we should be honoring and highlighting. They are routinely mocked, harassed, and threatened for refusing to conform to Eurocentric Western standards of beauty.
Wow.
Fuck off.
Well, all right.
What?
So, are they going to have like mustache march where they don't shave their mustaches too?
Yeah, they should.
That's ugh.
Well, they're being gross already. Why not just go full bore?
Basically, it's a symptom of white privilege and, in a roundabout way, white supremacy, that white women can protest against oppressive, gender-reinforcing westernized standards of beauty just by not shaving their legs and armpits for a couple of weeks. Above all, white women should feel ashamed that they're even bothering to make an effort.
These women are so brave.
That tells me Gupta's really ugly.
So brave. What was her
Brave
name?
and stunning. Brave
Let's see if we
and
can find a
stunning.
picture. What was her name again?
Prachi
Gupta.
Drupta, something.
Prachi Gupta.
Ugh, such a weird name.
Oh my God, that's what her name should be. Let's see, Prachi Gupta. Let's look her up.
She's
Did
fat,
you,
I guarantee
Did you
it.
post a link to this in the chat? Because I'm curious. I want to like.
Yeah,
Cheers.
give me just a second. Oh, is that her? She's actually not horrible.
All right, you gotta image it.
That's
Hang
Photoshop.
on. I'm doing what Big Dick over there asked for. There you go. Images.
Speaking of big dicks, does anyone know what happened to Big Dicko?
No,
No.
nobody knows really. You should have asked Gutenberg. He knew him best. I mean, that's her. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
whoa, she ain't too bad actually.
No, but
I mean,
but
other
she's
than
got-
being brain dead.
and lots of hairy bits.
Oh, I bet you she doesn't shave at all.
Probably
what?
not.
And that's fine because she still has that mouth there that's nice.
Yeah, but you know the downstairs is just a wild mess.
It is.
It's gonna look like Borneo.
It looks like Prachi Gupta.
Oh God, terrible name for such a fairly decently looking woman.
Yeah, she just changed her name to like Karen Smith.
Delightful.
What's this one?
I'm falling asleep, guys.
I don't
So
wanna read
I'm
that.
gonna go night night now.
No,
See you, Weebs.
Bye, Weebs.
bye, little bro.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye,
for
big
stopping
bro.
by.
Thanks for having me.
Yay!
Mwah.
Aw.
Who?
Who the hell was that?
I
I don't know. Some lady was in here.
don't know. Snuck
There's
in.
some
Who
girls
gave her the link?
allowed here.
This one actually came to us from several people. They must know how much I like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yep.
And there's various different articles about this. Sorry, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, your minority privilege is no longer a secret. I don't.
Hi, Polly.
Polly, good evening,
Hello.
sir.
How's it
You're-
going?
You're,
From Polly.
you're just in time for my sweetheart. You know what? I feel like I need a Stacey Dash moment.
That's my lady. That's just don't
She
creep
might
on
be
my
your lady, but I'm gonna look at her.
don't creep on my
Oh.
future wife, man.
Are you
Let-
guys
let-
gonna
let-
go down to Knoxville over this?
Yes,
No, just let me have this. I have so little in life. Come
and
on.
I'm gonna get boxing gloves shaped like her titties.
Don't invade my fantasy life, okay? Jesus.
You say you're up for failure here, right?
Man, she's cute. All right, let's get to the moron. And it's not really her. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Polly is wrong. Ooh,
About what? I mean, besides most things.
Polly's right about a lot. It's all the things he agrees with me on. He's right.
I'm never so much wrong as I am occasionally mistaken. It's different.
I don't know if you guys heard about this shit, but we got to talk about it.
About some moron?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, in fact.
Oh yeah, that moron. Okay, right.
But it's actually not necessarily about her so much as, well, we'll get into it. Minorities of the world, gather round. I've got bad news. The jig is up. We've been rumbled. While I know we've all been trying to keep our minority privilege a secret, the whitest minds in America have put their heads together and found us out.
Super chat.
What?
So you got super chat.
You gotta say it right. You gotta go super chat.
Where?
Diesel Dave. I'm looking right at it.
He already read that. You are the worst co-host
Oh.
ever.
This is why it's my job. You go back to just sitting.
I was like, what the fuck did I miss? Did my chat freeze? Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Can I just know where you're reading this from, Monkey?
Oh,
I'm
this
curious.
one is from The Guardian. This is,
The
it's been around.
Guardian?
The story itself, what this is about, came from Laura Ingraham. Well, on Thursday, the Fox News host Laura Ingraham went on a rant about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and how she benefits from a widespread but little discussed phenomenon called minority privilege.
Right.
Fox News rants about Ocasio-Cortez every 5 minutes, but this particular outburst was prompted by the fact that she had posted a tweet noting that many people have recognized the network, quote, has crossed the line between conservatism and into outright bigotry with their financing of Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham. That's what my favorite moron said.
Financing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they pay him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like they're not running for. That's a weird choice of words, but whatever.
Ingraham took offense at being called racist or being called a bigot, and in an episode of the Laura Ingraham Show podcast, railed against the fact that you can't say anything racist these days without people calling you a racist. That is not what she said, you twat.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Laura Ingraham said that, she's a fucking moron. I take it she didn't actually say that?
That is not what she said. Of course not.
Okay.
Ocasio-Cortez, she argued, was guilty of minority privilege in her criticism of Fox News. Quote, how about the privilege of being protected member of a class that you can never criticize lest you be called racist? See what she actually said versus what that twat said she said?
Right.
And that's what this goes into. It's the fact that you can't criticize Ocasio-Cortez. If you do, you're either a sexist or a racist. Now, they're not going to call Laura Ingraham a sexist because she's a woman. So what do they go to? Oh, she's a sexist.
Can you?
She's a racist.
Can you post a link to this in side chat, please?
I already did. Or I put it in the main chat there.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Can I show you something real quick?
Please.
Don't send us.
These are Laura Ingram's kids.
Yeah, but she's a racist, man.
Yeah, that
shut
kid. Pretty sure that's these kids aren't white.
No, they are white. It's just the lighting, Jack.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I'm just saying.
When I look at them,
she's a pretty terrible racist.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it doesn't look like they all came across on a door or anything.
Right?
I'm going to hell.
Cynic wants to know what seed I was using on today's 7 Days to Die. That is the seed America.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. But I didn't want to say that because I don't want to confuse him. It's America. We read a story the other morning on her, and I don't know if you guys remember it, but there was some criticism, or I don't remember, but they immediately went into people are being sexist and racist, and it had nothing to do with sexism or racism.
Right.
And that keeps happening with her. And it happened with Obama. And it happens with anybody who's darker than milk. It's sexist. It's racist. Like, no. Let's talk about what this dumb broad says so much stupid shit that you could run a whole channel just based on the stupid shit she says. And there's nothing racist or sexist about it. She's a fucking idiot. And Laura Ingraham was right. This does keep happening with and I would go further than to just say that it's protected classes, because if Ocasio-Cortez was a Republican, you could say whatever you wanted about her. You could probably even drop an N-bomb about her, and people be like, "Yeah, that's right. You're so brave for speaking." Mm-hmm. That only happens on the left. You can say whatever you want about a black conservative. I mean, we talked about that the other day. Fucking Ben Carson, a literal fucking brain surgeon. Uncle Tom.
Yeah, David Webb got called a white supremacist.
Yeah, fucking black man, white supremacist. Because the person calling her, their people gave her bad information. Do you guys have people who tell you what color people are?
I mean, you have me tell you.
Yeah, well, I have you read names. That's different. For all I know, Gungabar is Japanese. I don't know what his race is.
I don't know. That's a cool name for a metal band, though.
Fuck yeah, it is. If you could play the drums, I think we need to start a band.
This lady from the Guardian, what is her name? Arwa Madawi.
Remember, they've got all these fun names because we're the racists.
I'm looking at it. I looked up what else because that's what I wanted to know. Like, if you're willing to write that, what else? She's got a regular column in the Guardian called "The Week in Patriarchy."
Yeah. Well,
I wish I was kidding.
I wonder if we can find a bigger picture of her, because come on, let me highlight the name, you shits. I'm gonna look her up, because this girl, this is the one who's claiming this minority privilege. I bet most people wouldn't know she was any kind of minority unless she was wearing a shirt saying "I'm a minority."
Oh no, the white saviors are the most important allies.
Yeah, did it? This is actually the same picture they used on the story. Look how minority she is, y'all.
Look at that, like, slightly upturned lips that are like, just judging you. Excuse me, Mr. Patriarch.
Just look. I mean,
she wrote an opinion piece because that's all she has.
That's a TED talk.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah, that's her at a TEDx talk.
10 steps to make diversity happen. I wonder if Scribe has covered this.
I mean, it's just like this woman, it's her bread and butter to talk about these things. So for somebody pointing out, you only live by the fact that you can go minority, diversity, patriarchy, minority, diversity, patriarchy over and over again, and you get paid for it. Of course, you don't want anyone pointing out that that there's someone who gets by based on not being criticizable by virtue of the fact they never shut up about the very things you make a living off of.
She was writing this article about how she experiences the same thing Cortez does. She has that same.
I'm sure you do.
Did you see those eyes, though?
Fuck? Real quick, I'm sorry. Cassie, thank you so much. On that note, Ben Shapiro statistically gets the most anti-Semitic hate on Twitter than any other Jewish person, all because of his politics. Indeed. He gets called all kinds of anti-Semitic stuff.
She wrote Arwa Madawi. Remember the American Psychological Association, the APA, their concerns over toxic masculinity and pathologizing male behavior and so forth. Okay. She wrote an article. The APA's sensible concern over the danger posed by traditional gender roles will save lives. But it's not a concern, is it? It's a pathologization and a criticism and turning a male behavior as if it has no biological root into something that's an active disorder. And she called it will save lives because I have opinions about minorities and gender.
See, you're buying into the lie of biology. You can't see the air quotes, but they're there. And that is a patriarchal construct designed to create a sexually dimorphic species to oppress the gays.
Way to play the part of the system, you bastard.
Yeah.
NPRN says she's pulling Elizabeth Warren, look white, but claim they are colored. She's obviously ethnic of some kind with that name. Unless she changed it.
That's an Indian name.
Yeah, but she's white enough that nobody knows that.
You know what's funny about this? I have the smallest Twitter account, like one of the smallest Twitter accounts on Twitter. Okay, I'm a nobody. I get more likes and retweets than this woman.
Well, she's a moron, so that makes sense.
And half of her stuff is desperate self-promotion, like, for Christ's sake, I need a job so badly. Like, quote on January 8th, DM me to share details of companies that are great/terrible to freelance for with your experiences. On January 8th earlier, is there a quote shitty media men list, but for companies that are shitty at paying their freelancers? Jesus Christ, are you dying for a freelancing job or what?
Somebody go tell her that Monkey in the Morning is looking for a freelancer.
And that feeling when you do a talk on diversity for a major company in September and 4 months, 40 emails and 15 forms later, they still haven't paid you. Pay your damn freelancers, people! ! It's like when you do a talk on diversity for a major company, I'm amazed that you even finagled someone to pay you for that at all. This is all right. This is why I wanted to get off Twitter, and I'm going to close it now. Thanks, Monkey. It's your fault.
I didn't tell you to go on there.
I know, but I got to blame someone, and I'm not taking the fall, so it's your fault.
Pro says she's Palestinian, which doesn't surprise me.
Speaking of desperate self-promotion, there's my
that's why. That's why I would explain that she wrote an article for The Guardian saying why so and so, the first Palestinian member of Congress, is such a big deal.
How can they be Palestinian if they don't have a country called Palestine?
Wow. Let's just not touch that hot topic, shall we? Christine Morris asked me, have you read that paper? It is outlandish. Yeah, you know what? As much as I go on about the mainstream media in the United States, Britain has the market cornered in terms of trash papers. They really do. It's amazing the shit that they print up and call news. I mean, for God's sake, Piers Morgan comes from that place, like that industry in Britain. So that tells you a lot about the quality of character of the people that work in it. Fuck.
Night, Stargazer.
Oh, night, Stargazer.
Good night, Nuts. Love you, sweetie. Have a good night.
Tailed feature ass finagled. Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah.
It's not a... Actually, is that an actual word or is that just like total slang?
I'm sure it's a word. Oh, Sarah says, will you sing me happy birthday since it's officially my birthday? Of course, Sarah.
Oh, cool.
It's a word.
It's a word. Okay, nice.
Hey, we got to sing. Calm down.
All right.
Happy birthday
To
you.
Shabop, shabop.
Happy birthday
To you.
Shabop, shabop.
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Sarah.
Shabop, shabop.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
to you.
and many more.
Happy birthday, Sarah. I hope you have a
Happy
great day.
birthday, Sarah.
Am I allowed to ask how old you are?
And he ruined it.
Yeah, you never ask a lady that question.
How tall are you? Well, no, I have to because I asked the how tall are you, and if she's like 16, that becomes a really, really creepy question. This is keeping myself legal. Oh, cool.
Christine Morse has talked about the APA paper, not the newspaper. Well, I'm still right about what I said about the newspaper, but yes, you are additionally correct, Christine, about the APA paper. I did in fact read it, and it's the danger that people are talking about with it, that notion of pathologizing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what is biologically understood to be male behavior. Like it's the APA has no problem saying there's a biological basis for the means and extent to which females socialize and males do not in the same way. They have no problem saying that, but they don't pathologize it. And it's like males act in this way. Well, yeah, but that's part of toxic, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Monkey, we've had this conversation before, and it really worries me because that kind of ideology it's like, we want to, and I am one of them, want to put, quote, science above that sort of thing, but it's not. Engineering and physics and psychology and everything else are subject to that same kind of garbage. It's not like it's just happening in gender studies. You know what I mean?
It is, but it worries me so much more in, especially in psychology. I used to be a real fan of psychology, and I just saw how often it is abused to do things like this. I mean,
when I hear you, like, I mean, these are people who could prescribe drugs because of perceived maladies. You know what I'm talking about? Like, your young boy is rambunctious. You've raised kids, Monkey. They're rambunctious. It's what they do. So now you're going to drug them because they're obviously, quote, ill. Do you know what I mean?
And this is where I blame women again. It's true. Women got into psychology and they've taken it over as a way to prove men are bad. And it's not that they've taken over. It's that playing to them sells really well. Things like men are from Mars, women are from Venus, this kind of shit. Pseudo psychology meant to prove that there's actually a part in that book in Men Are From Mars, Women Are from Venus, where Dr. Gray points out that women, they communicate through code, and men, they are very direct and say what they mean. Now, any thinking person would go, women need to learn to communicate like men. This fuck, like, so men, you need to learn to communicate like women. Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Why would I want to play a game when I can just say, pass me the remote, hun?
Exactly. And it's not that's just the book that really fucking destroyed it all for me. Like you were just sucking up to women to sell books, you little shitbag.
It worked. He's a millionaire.
It did. It worked very well. I think there are very valid uses of psychology, and I think it has been ruined by so many people who either have a want for money, or who have a clear agenda that they're trying to push. Because it's not like a hard science. It's not like you can do 2 + 2. We know what that is. It's 4.
No, it's 17.
Shut up. We're dealing with the human mind, and there's so many variables. So you can take any of this, any studies and stuff you do, and manipulate them however you want. There are people who are doing real science out there. And instead, what we get when it comes time for like this fucking ACA paper, or ACA, I forget. Either way, it's
APA.
just, it's nonsense, and it's disguised as science. So people will rush to it and look, see, we have to fix these bad men. They're inherently wrong when they're born. Like, no, go fuck yourself. You are distorting what it should be. You are fucking using science as a tool to beat people, and you're not even using real science. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, actually, Ryan Walters makes a good point here. He says it's partially applied science as well. Like, that's applied science can be wrong, and we've had this discussion before. When you think of science, like you monkey think of science, you often use the analogy of we know 2 + 2 = 4, right?
Sure.
That's more of a logical necessity than it is science. Math is not science. But then after we had a lengthy discussion off air, I realized what you explained is like you count math as science. It's like you got a broad definition of science. But most people that are employing it, like in the academic sense of the term, science has a very strict definition, and it's experimental in nature. If you're not performing an experiment with clearly defined variables that produces falsifiable and replicable results, then you're not doing science. So it's like, it's what they're doing, I agree, is not scientific, but it's because they can't replicate the results again and again. It is applied science, as Ryan Walters points out, because they're trying to find probabilistic likelihoods of behavior, because as you said, they're dealing with the human mind, which is that you're never going to have a consistency with it because it's human beings. It's how we are. But they're saying like 80% of the time men behave in this way, and that's bad. And it's that application of that unfalsifiable assumption from the beginning that makes it inherently unscientific.
You're never going to be able to replicate everything, even with the same person.
Right.
Because our memories change. Excuse me. Our memories lapse over time. Our experience changes what we think, what we do. But we can do is get generalities. I think that's where psychology has, and even more so when we talk about the medical side of psychology. You and I have talked about that before too.
Mm-hmm.
That has a really good application, and that's where it has its value. And instead, it's been used like with this fucking article. Men bad.
Oh yeah, it's that is I hear you. You will have people often will take credible terms and throw them around to cover up what is really just an ideological well-wishing on their part, or an ideological wish on their part. Mm-hmm. They'll say, well, this is reasonable, rational, scientific, empirical, and then go on to say what they say, even if those things have anything to do with what they're talking about or not. Armored skeptic, I hear you. It bastardizes those things. It minimizes their value. I absolutely, I am not a detractor of science. I am a defender of it. It should remain extremely constrained, because every time you put something scientific, something non-scientific into that category, you lessen the reliability and value of the thing.
And it's taking that, and even worse. I mean, somebody like me, I loved psychology growing up. I used to read books, and it was something I was considering going into. And then I just saw what happened to it. I'm like, I don't want any part of that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't.
Like Frosted Glass makes a point, and it's extreme, but I get the underlying thing, and I agree with it. Someday people will ask if this writer should have been killed as a baby. They're classifying a demographic as an illness. Yeah. You know,
exactly.
It you know, like there's when you're taking an entire group of people and trying to pathologize them. I mean, that's creeping on Nazi pseudoscience.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
there's a reason that psychology is the most overturned medical science we have. I think it's in like the last 10, 15 years, something like that. And there's a reason for that. It's because in that time is when we've seen this creep so bad where it's all just somebody mentioned earlier, it's had feminist theory pumped into it. You're right. That's exactly what it is. It's because it's no longer about finding the truth. It's about pushing an agenda that's how you get your study that's how you end up in a newspaper. Like, oh, look, this study found out that guys who jack off usually beat women. It's like, what? Well, we asked one guy if he jacks off and he beat a woman, so obviously it's
at the
true.
Same time.
I mean, it's just such garbage, and it's ruining the science part of psychology.
Yeah, it's like phrenology. You know, they're trying to push it because it gets some attention, and that's all they really want. They're getting free money for pushing their nonsensical beliefs. It's kind of brilliant in a way.
Prospero says it's not a branch of medicine. There is a medical side to psychology.
Yeah, it
may not be.
You're being iffy on it, like Prosper. Like after you graduate with a PhD in psychology, after 2 of medical training, then you can be a psychiatrist who can prescribe drugs. Otherwise, you're working under someone else, another psychiatrist, medical license who can prescribe drugs. So it absolutely is a adjacent branch to medicine. I don't,
there are people that have access to medical.
Yes.
They can institutionalize people, which subjects them to medication. They can have a psychiatrist prescribe things. I worked with psychologists and psychiatrists a lot, and yeah, they're all crazy. They all have tons of problems. I've never met one that was like, "Oh, you're normal." So yeah, I don't trust those people with their witch doctor science and their prescription pads.
Prospero says most psychology cannot be falsified. All of it can. Absolutely can.
Well, it depends on how you construct your experiment. If you want it to be like even exclusively qualitative sociological studies can be falsified as long as you construct it with you can be proven wrong in the course of your experimentation. That's the only thing that makes it falsifiable.
They don't even need to falsify that. They could just create the problem. Look at as Styx Hexenhammer would point out, the satanic panic of the 90s.
Sure.
That had a bunch of shrinks getting people in to say that their parents and their teachers diddled them and sacrificed babies. People were convicted and locked up, had their lives ruined based on that.
I mean, they didn't? God damn it. I feel bad for my parents.
Yeah, there's a great book called The Myth of Repressed Memory about psychologists that were using hypnotism to implant false memories of sexual abuse.
You leave Dr. Blasey Ford out of this.
I will not. Her face looks like the crevasses of Mars.
Damn it. Monkey, I'm seeing what you mean why your podcast might not be successful.
You think? Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, sorry.
No shit. Fuck that.
Invite assholes like us on, and then it's like, this is the most racist, sexist, bigoted thing I've ever heard in my life.
But I
You're the one
in
that said,
truth. I mean,
well, yeah, but I mean, he said Nazi pseudoscience, not me. So this is all Polly's fault.
I said creeping on Nazi pseudoscience.
That's all it took was saying it. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Confirmed Polly is baby Hitler.
Frosted Glass, I think he made a great point. Like, how is that good? That demonizing, pathologizing an entire demographic.
Yeah.
Years later, how will that be looked back upon? It's like, I don't know. Kind of like Nazi pseudoscience is looked back upon as being like you had come up with your conclusion before you even started looking.
In 20 years, I will ask our Chinese overlords to look into it.
You know, there's something I want to talk about. Let's talk about China for a minute.
Oh,
Sure.
no. Be nice, though. Come get you.
Are you guys aware to the extent of Chinese financial appropriation of lands and especially resource-rich lands in Africa?
In Africa, no.
No.
Massive.
Yep.
They're buying all over the world, aren't they?
Oh, they're buying all over the world, but Africa has always been, and of course still is, extremely resource-rich. Minerals, oil, the list goes on. It's ridiculous. Lumber alone.
They're buying up a lot of the conflict diamond mines too.
Right. China's making massive financial inroads to Africa. It's not looked upon as being, here's the word, colonialist.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think that they're extracting that resource wealth for the good of the locals? No, they're not. China's extremely resource hungry and desperate for resources around the world, and that's why they are doing that's why they're doing what they're doing right now in Africa. It's certainly not going to help out the Africans, and it's certainly not going to lessen the violence in the area. You know what I mean? In the given areas that they're involved in, but nobody wants, because first of all, it's the Chinese. So let's not talk, because what they're doing isn't colonialist. That's a white European thing, right? We've decided that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but is it any more or less damaging than what's going on? Because they have control of the governments in those local areas, meaning the warlord who happens to have the most guns currently.
Well, and the Chinese military has a lot more firepower. They can just go in and take whatever they want. Nobody's going to say anything. But China also controls 85% of the world's gold mines because they've been going in and buying them up, especially in South America. They're doing this all over the planet. They're just more obvious about it in Africa.
My point being, no, I agree. And my point being is that it just doesn't ever get discussed. It's just never talked about, because the more important thing is, let's look at European colonialism in Africa in the 1950s and then never shut the fuck up about it.
Well, sorry, Monkey, go ahead.
No, you got to remember, colonialism only matters if it's westernized colonialism.
Of course it does. And Gillette will make commercials about endless. We'll make commercials about toxic masculinity that's going on and patriarchy that's going on, and all of you men in the Western world need to check yourselves, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but like Arab culture and Islamic culture is radically patriarchal. And is not exactly in favor of women's rights or anything like that. Hey, shut up, Islamophobe.
But you have to remember, it's white Western societies that are the bad ones.
And that's my point. And I start to feel like I'm arguing like ethno-statey or something. It's like I'm not. Yeah. It's just social justice warriors and the Islamic world are strange bedfellows indeed, but they found themselves to be that.
Well, a part of it is there are a bunch of self-loathing white supremacists.
1 second. Dax, you're in charge for a minute.
Woo!
It was a terrible decision.
He's like, I'm tapping out on that one.
Yeah, it's tapping out on that one. Yeah. I mean, when I think about these things, it's like, I've been thinking a lot about, because Monkey's been talking about this a lot lately, like how it gets out there into the ether in this discussion, and it becomes part of the zeitgeist, this anti-maleness and anti-Westernism, and to say Western means racist. You know what I mean? Like it becomes part of the discussion, to the point where even Gillette is willing to make commercials about it. Pepsi's willing to make commercials about it. So therefore it's part of the zeitgeist, even though I hate that word, because
I wonder how they figured that they were going to be immune to it too, considering they make the razor called Venus.
Wait, I just find it odd that we, as social justice warriors, are going to overlook the places in the world where these things are happening at their absolute worst, absolute most obvious, and instead focus on the guy down the block who happened to utter "boys will be boys" when his son broke something.
I think they can win that fight.
Yeah, it's start local, and you think local, act global. So they start it here so they can spread the message like an infection. Further, the Chinese are communists, so they're going to overlook that because communism's awesome, right?
Right. Actually,
so Yeah, they're going to look the other way because a lot of them, let's face it, most social justice warriors are kind of dumb. So they don't really know what's going on in the global sphere. They only know what is going on around them, what their friends are talking about, and they don't read international news.
Like they talk about like the global change and history and so on, but they're not talking globally. They're just talking in the Western world as if it's the worst thing that ever was.
Yeah, but they talk in broad sweeping generalizations. They don't talk in specifics unless it's a specific incident that they assume happens all the time. They don't know any nuance or anything like that. They just know a handful of facts about other places. They don't actually seem to be aware of what's going on in other countries outside of the Western civilization.
I think Mr. Dax, the way he said it, is quite right here. It's the weird racism of low expectation. We, the whites, should be able to do better. The brown folks just can't help themselves. It's not their fault.
Self-loathing white supremacists, I'm telling you.
They would never admit to that. And I'm sure Prospero and other people have heard of the idea of like the white man's burden, which is now repeated, ad nauseum in academia, where it's like, this is the most awful thing ever. Help me understand how social justice is not a repackaged with a bow on it white man's burden.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's white man's burden added to manifest destiny.
Yeah.
You got to go out and teach those savages how to behave. But at the same time, we have to hate ourselves because we're self-loathing white supremacists.
Right.
That guy that Sargon argued with, Thomas Dumbass, he said meritocracy favors white people. And that's their mentality. They think that black people can't do it on their own because, as a white person, I am inherently better, so I have to
and they go
myself.
Is it because white people have started with a massive leg up because of white privilege is the basis of that argument, and therefore a meritocracy inherently favors white people? And it's like, no, it inherently favors merit. You've just constructed a system whereby nobody can ever improve themselves.
But merit is a white concept. It's a colonialist archetype that was created by Whitey to favor himself. See, it's an Ouroboros, man. It just eats itself. You don't have to make any goddamn sense. You just have to be completely crazy and have magical thinking, and it all can work itself out.
Prospero made a point here about something we were talking about previously. She said, you misunderstood my point about falsifiability. The underpinnings of psychology, the theories of mind of Freud and Jung, how are they to be falsified? I hear you, Prospero. And they were like, I mean, Freud with id, superego, and ego, like, yeah, he's assuming things based upon discussions. Those cannot be falsified. When I think of like psychology being falsifiable, it's more like the axes of disorders, whether they be a personality disorder or a mood disorder, and so on. Those absolutely can be falsified in the way they're constructed. So yeah, we were disagreeing because we were talking parallel to each other about different things. So yeah, I misunderstood your point, but I don't disagree with what you just said there at all. So we were having about 17 discussions all over the place there, Monkey, and we're just kind of confusing your audience at this point, I think.
That's okay. I wanted to go back to what you were talking about China. Because I had a thought when I stepped away. Do you know why nobody's whining about China buying up and colonializing the world?
Why is that?
Think about who's whining about America doing it. It's Americans. They never bitch about other people doing it. You have, excuse me, whether it's white, black, Hispanic, whatever, it is westernized people who are whining about how horrible we are. And it's because we've been taught over the last several decades how bad we are for our history and how bad we are for all the things we've done around the world to harm people. Yeah. Meanwhile, in China, these are people, even the oppressed ones, many of them believe that, the good of the state is the main goal. I remember watching a documentary where they were talking to this really poor farmer over in China. And now he may have been saying it because he had to, but they were talking to him about, how do you feel about communism? And he's like, it's great. It's awesome. Dude, you're a dirt poor fucking farmer here. You're getting screwed by the whole system. But he's like, look, the good of the state. that's what they're taught. Well, we're taught, we have to be politically correct because you might hurt somebody's feelings, and you can't do anything that hurts anybody else, even if it is for the good of the many, unless it's what they want you to do, of course. But so we have China. Their people are like, yes, that helps us. That helps the grand Chinese empire. Where here in America, we're like, we're so sorry. We're so sorry for everything we've ever done.
Forgive me for the advances.
Yeah.
Sorry for your polio vaccine and air conditioning.
Indeed. So I mean, it's just a difference in the kind of people and the we don't give a fuck what other countries are doing. We don't. I mean, we've talked about this so many times. With feminism. Like, if you want to take feminism somewhere, it's going to help. Take it over to Saudi Arabia. You never. Well, nobody goes.
No, it's scary over there.
I see. You're slowly persuading me, Monkey. By the point that you made, and then as I think about it, I don't know if you've persuaded me or I'm just becoming more black-pilled and jaded over time. But it's
join us.
Things are not getting better, as it were, because it depends on the reception of the audience. It's like the way securitization theory works. If anybody knows about that in political science, that something can be considered a security threat only as an interaction between the speaker and the audience. So Mitt Romney can name Russia as a security threat when he's debating Barack Obama and is laughed at. And Barack Obama's like, okay, the Cold War called and they want their threats back, Mitt. Like, you know what I mean? And they're laughing at him. Now, Russia is the greatest threat of all. And that's got to do with the interaction between speaker and audience. What is the audience willing to hear in terms of the Overton window of something? And what is the speaker willing to say? In any case, situations and issues in Africa were taken very seriously. East Timor was taken deadly seriously. Apartheid in South Africa was taken deadly seriously. Appropriation and nationalization of white farmers' land in South Africa is not taken seriously, and it's got to do with what the audience is willing to listen to and not. I want to broadcast this, even though other people have heard it, and if you guys will indulge me, I'd like to read this little thing. It's quite short, but it's interesting.
Sure, I'm going to be muted because I'm eating Lunchables.
Okay. All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large number of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs that they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by a former congresswoman. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it. Bill Clinton, State of the Union Address, 1995. That would be considered extreme white supremacy in 2019.
It's not very different from a speech that Barack Obama gave.
No, it's not.
He gave one very similar to that.
Like James Colley says, Barack H. Obama. And it's like, no, I hear you, because it is a fair position to hold. It's not wild. It's not crazy until Trump says it. And he doesn't even say it. That was actually pretty eloquently stated. That was a well-written, very concise summation. You know what I mean? But now would be, can you imagine what Alyssa Milano would think of that?
Well, she would think it was great if she knew it came from Bill.
Well, it was a different time when racism was okay in the 90s. Now we've evolved.
Remember, he is one of her heroes.
Are you serious?
Dude, she put that out. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She there was a great article that came out during the whole Kavanaugh thing. And it wasn't an article, it was a video. And the video was a hashtag Me Too thing. And it's showing these guys who have abused women. And one of them is Bill Clinton.
Right.
And Alyssa Milano tweeted out that video. Not I can't remember if it was 2 or 4 hours later, she tweeted out about how great Bill was and how he was one of her heroes.
Jesus.
Swear to God.
She's a genius.
I remember you making the argument that she's maneuvering for office or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, and I kind of said, I don't know about that, blah, 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 blah. At this point, I hope she's maneuvering for office, because if she's not, the fuck you doing? And why? You know?
If she runs for office, I hope Tony Danza goes against her.
I'll show you who's the boss, Alyssa.
Yeah,
Come on,
we could call it the Who's the Boss 2020. That'd be awesome.
I'd vote.
Yeah, it's a weird world.
I mean, we are a nation of immigrants, but we cannot allow our immigration laws to be abused in this way. That is not an unreasonable position, nor is it hypocritical. He makes it like, that's why I said it was such a great, concise statement of the position. It's like, we're a nation of immigrants, but we're also a nation of laws. Those jobs could be held by citizens or legal immigrants. Right? What's the problem here? Well, the problem is you just hate brown people. Oh, go to hell. Like, the level of the conversation has gotten so much lower.
It is. Look, we've always had a problem in the U.S. with things going back and forth, where the Democrats and the Republicans seem to change sides on stuff. But we have never seen it as bad as it is right now. We've never seen it to the point where it's something that seemed to be universal. Everybody seemed to understand illegal immigration is a problem. Literally, Bill Clinton, who did speeches about it, Barack Obama did speeches about it. But suddenly, when Trump gets in office, there's no problem. What are you talking about? There's literally no crisis. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And I mean, I hear, because that's the actual statement. What border crisis is the actual headline and the news lead on cable news? There is no crisis in Jim Acosta talking. Fuck.
It was Barack Obama who used the term, we have a humanitarian crisis at the border. But Trump comes along, says it just a couple years later, and we're not that far out from Obama. But he says it and said, no, there's no problem. What are you talking about?
And people jokingly calling Obama the deporter in chief. If he was deporting criminals after due process of them being found to be criminals, I mean, I haven't done an investigation on the process. What's the problem? I would support him in that. And I'm not a big fan of Obama era policies. But if he was deporting people after due process of finding them to be criminals or repeat deportees, like, how many times you need to be deported before you realize that you can't just waltz into the country? Motherfucker. Was he identified as hating brown people?
Well, no. But we do have to. Obama claimed to be the deported more people than anyone else. And part of that was that they started counting people turned away at the border as deported. Obama liked to do that with a lot of things in government. They started counting things a lot differently when he was around. Catch and release was Obama's act pilot. Things still were getting worse under Obama, but he still used that as political fare, because we all know there's a problem at the fucking border. But no, it's Trump because he happened to mention murderers and rapists.
No person is illegal. Thank you. On stolen land, like Davey Camerahog said.
What was Trump's term? In his inaugural address, American, not travesty, not savagery. What was the word? American butchery.
Oh, God, I don't know. I only listened to it when he gave it, so I couldn't tell you.
It was a word to that effect. I'm sure Prospero will be up with the answer real quick because she remembers all the things. He was talking specifically about the extremely high crime and especially assault and murder rate in African-American communities. And he called it he's not wrong. Like it's like, we need to crack down on them or whatever the hell. That's not what he was saying. He's saying it's a disgrace. It's tragic. It's a national disgrace that this goes on, and we need to fix this. And the only reporting that happened around it was how dark his inaugural speech was. And it's like, yeah, dark times in Chicago. It's their murder rate is dozens upon dozens every month in the same communities, and yet people focus on the peppering of legitimate police, like legit police murders where police are like, killing people unjustly. Okay. But not nearly in the numbers that are happening. Trump calls attention to it, and he's somehow a racist. That's Barack Obama's hometown. He never mentioned it.
Of course not. And when you say dozens and dozens each week, dozens and dozens each weekend.
Yeah, it's insane. And I know it's a trope at this point. We're saying, like, where's Black Lives Matter when it comes to that? That's the tragedy of African Americans in society. It's not microaggressions on campus.
Those are hate facts, Polly.
Polly and his damn hate facts.
How dare you?
It is Chicago. What's that? T. Ryan says, yeah, that's right. Yeah, what's Chicago? I've never heard of that. And then Rahm Emanuel, his main man, goes over there and becomes mayor. And did he institute policies that even affected it?
No, like, it got worse.
Yeah, no, that did affect it because he banned a bunch of guns and the crime rate skyrocketed.
Yeah. Let's stop the law-abiding citizens from being able to protect themselves via their constitutional right. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's fantastic. It's like the whole thing upsets me. Like it's talking about like brown people. Like, you want to know where my sympathies with? It's with the Hispanics that are in the United States and have been citizens forever and a day and are being asked for their green card by law enforcement officers because 60% of the Hispanics that are in the United States are here illegally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, what about the poor people who fought to get? Listen, my sympathy goes wide and far, but the government is there to protect the rights of citizens and legal immigrants, not to help out everybody on Earth, because America cannot shoulder every poor person on Earth.
Nor should we.
The people that are in the Congo are suffering worse than the people that are off badly in Mexico. But there should be an extra level of sympathy extended them because of geographical proximity.
Yes,
you're racist.
I don't buy that shit. It's like, and where should the sympathy really go? How about the people that got the short end of the stick since the beginning of the country? The African American demographic. They're a shrinking demographic. Number one.
Wait, from the beginning of the country, you don't mean the natives? Thank you.
No, like think about this. They were 16%, the African American demographic of the population, only years ago. Now they're down to 12.5.
They got a free boat ride. What did the Indians get? Murdered. Jesus, Polly.
I'm just saying they were American carnage. Thank you, Prospero. And they were like, what a dark word to use. Dozens every weekend in one city doesn't count as carnage. It goddamn well does.
And that's just Planned Parenthood.
Oh, damn, Jack.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Been sitting on that one for a few minutes.
No, the ones I feel sorry for are the law-abiding citizens, the ones who are living in these fucking shitholes because we can't talk about real things that need to be talked about. Because if you mention the murder rate in Chicago, you're racist. How dare you bring that up? It's racist. It's not racist. There's a problem in Chicago, and I don't know if white and black has anything to do with it, but there's a fucking problem there that needs fixed.
Spoilers. It's a black thing.
It's
actually not a black thing, because if you look at, I mean, I hear you, but when you mix certain things together sociologically, you can pretty much predict where there's going to be high violence. Mm-hmm. You have an area that has high unemployment, low education, low job prospects, extremely tight population density, and strong gun control, and high drug trafficking. Guess what? There's going to be violence that's going to result. And it doesn't matter if it's Hispanics who live there, whites who live there, blacks who live there. You can create those conditions artificially if you want.
Yeah, we talk about it more in cities, and that's where we see it. But you see it in rural areas, which tend to be white. It's the conditions.
Yeah, it's socioeconomic.
Well, I mean, it's a black thing in Chicago, and unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it without a mass exodus. As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Miles, thank you so much. Hey guys, Trump is right to call this out. Here in Chicago, there are generations of black men being killed. BLM is nowhere to be found. Exactly. I mean,
only when the police do it, because it allows you to call out them white people, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like, even when it's Baltimore, where the arresting officers are black, chief of police is black, the governor of the state is black, the mayor is black, the attorney general is black, and the president of the United States is black. That's all the way to the top of the ladder, but it's still a white problem. Yeah. And it's like, no, it can't be.
So it's the original sin of white people being white. Come on, wake up, Polly. Obviously, a white man is telling that black man to murder some other black man or arrest another black man.
I made that point to a friend of mine who's gone kind of SJW-ish, kind of leftist. I wouldn't go say full SJW, but he's moved there and he goes, that's exactly it. It's institutional racism.
Yep.
And I'm like, the great haunting phantom, the great go-to answer when you can't come up with anything else, right?
Institutional racism is the demon possession of the SJW religion, because it's an out for anything. There's no personal responsibility. So obviously it's something to do, blah, 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 racism.
And on that note, guys, I am going to have to wrap this up. I'm going to need to get to bed here.
You're tired of us, aren't you? That's fine.
I'm tired. I'm just tired. Jar Jar says, so how is Raging Monkey this morning? And welcome to Detroit here. Look, I'm spent. And I've been to Detroit.
Recently?
It's been a few years, but not that long ago. What we need to do is move everybody out of Detroit and just burn the place down and start over.
Yeah.
Dare to dream.
It is a shithole of a city. The only good part of it is the ballparks, and the rest of it just looks like it looks like a documentary on like Chernobyl.
Yeah. It what kills me is that, like, you can't even go in there and, like, a neighborhood that's on like the upswing in 5 years and buy like a single story house for cheap, because all the houses are still like running 150, 175 grand because the banks refuse to lower the prices even though the houses are abandoned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck in Chicago's got, or in Detroit's got the money to buy $175,000 house? Like,
that's why they had to bulldoze all those crack houses. They bulldozed those entire neighborhoods because they were empty and turning into squatter and crack houses.
Excuse me, they're called trap houses or bandos. Get your terminology right.
Oh, but okay. On that chat, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thanks for the donation. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them. My fridge will be stocked with my Lunchables so I don't have to die on the stairs.
I like Lunchables too. I don't blame you.
Well, it's what fits in there that I don't have to cook.
I hear you. I do.
So it works out very well. And like I said, my diabetes has been under control, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Nice. Jack, anything you want to pimp out tonight?
No, but we need common sense coat hanger control.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Hail baby Jesus. Dax, anything you want to pimp out? And yes, I know I said that wrong because I'm not hailing the other one.
Yeah. No,
Dax,
link in there. I'm good.
Okay, and Polly.
As always, I'd like to pitch my channel, link in the description right there, for Comic Book Curation, the little live stream that we do over on my channel where Jack from Bad Comic Reviews joins us, as well as Inquisitor, and we have our little fun over there, and we rarely start talking about financial colonialism of China and Africa, so it's a good time.
I will be on this channel at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight for Lords of the Night, then over on 2 Cents Plus playing 7 Days to Die. We think we're giving out a video game tonight. I'm not sure which one. Last night we gave out Galactic Civilizations 1, 2, and 3. So
a little bummed I lost that one.
Sorry, dude.
That happens. I'm glad what is it, Chicalo or whatever his name was?
Jacqueline got it.
Jacqueline, there you go. Yeah, good for them. Glad they got it.
So check me out over there and check these guys out where they are, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye, everyone.
Laters.
Have a good night, everybody.